Welcome to Crew Expendable. I am Neil Cavalier.
I am Kenny, whose favorite band actually literally really is Metallica.
I'm Bob, wherever I may roam, Quirk.
Whoa.
And I am Danny Needledrop Martinez from the Next Issue podcast. How are you guys?
Jesus,
What up?
three referencing the music.
It'll love to have 3 of the 4 designations be about the licensed music drop during the credits.
Yeah,
Zero of you directly referencing the Parliament Funkadelic song in the episode, though.
We need to dive deep to see if it's an approval of the needle drops or a disdain for them. I think that's what we got to figure out.
Bob,
Well, go ahead.
I'm going to introduce Bob and Dan. I'm going to introduce our guests here. Bob, welcome back to the show for the 3rd time in a row. Plug your stuff, and why didn't you reference the Parliament Funkadelic song?
Hey, 3rd time's a charm. Maybe this is the one that people will like me on. I did watch the first 45 minutes of this episode in 360p, so the sound was a little garbled. I couldn't really tell there was a P-Funk song in there.
Okay.
But I do video game podcast with my buddies called The Flock Podcast. It's hard to search for because a lot of things that are called The Flock is church. And I also stream Friday nights on Twitch at Respectable Street. It's a good time.
Nice. Danny, welcome back to the show. It's been a little while.
Longer than we had planned or would have liked, but
Yeah.
For
you're
sure,
back.
I've
back.
been stuck in a predator ship.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell everyone what you're up to and why you didn't reference Maggot Brain in your intro.
I'll answer your second question first. I'm not familiar with a lot of music, so whenever shows use music, that's kind of how it gets into my head, and I'm like, "Oh, what was that? I like that song. Let's put it on the old Apple Music." And what I'm up to, same old, Neil. Just reading a lot of comics and making a lot of videos about them. Got some really cool stuff coming up. Hopefully, some creator interviews, but in the meanwhile, I'm glad to be here talking about Alien Earth.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back. That's a youtube.com/ at Next Issue Podcast.
Yeah, that Next Issue. If you look for Next Issue Podcast, it should pull it up.
There'll be links to all of this stuff.
Not a lot of religious channels have Next Issue in the name, so I think I'm good.
All right. If you are tuning into this, we've done 3 of these in a row. So if you're just tuning into Crew Expendable for these Alien Earth episodes, this is not the standard format for this podcast. We're just doing these immediately after we watch the episodes as a roundtable discussion, as opposed to our normal sort of more in-depth analysis or recap formats. So, this is a lot looser, less edited, more conversational, just first impressions. Yeah, we put them out right away as soon as we watch the episodes.
That's true.
Also, this episode will be dropping midnight-ish, depending on when we wrap this up, August 20th, which is my birthday.
Hey,
Ooh.
Neil. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Wow.
So if you want to give me a present, you guys should go to coolerbot.net and throw us a couple bucks.
You heard it.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Awkward,
That's right.
shameless plug, guys.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a few people ask how they can donate to the show, and we never had an answer for them, and now we do.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We were, for a while, knocking around the idea of starting a Patreon, but we decided not to. In lieu of that, we're instead doing a website that is structured around single donations rather than monthly subscriptions.
Yeah, we don't want to paywall anything, and we don't ever want to have to run advertisements or anything like that. In fact, we pay for our hosting specifically so we will never be forced or pushed to insert ads into our show.
That's right.
And that costs me money every month. So
I should have mentioned I am here on a contract with Wayland Yutani.
Ah, shit.
And I
Fuck.
do have to mention them at least 3 times in the episode, which
Damn
we've
it.
already taken care of one. I am wearing, you can't see it because it's a podcast, but I am wearing a Wayland Yutani shirt
You're gonna get
that I
paid.
just got as soon as the show came out.
Nice.
Danny's
Because I
gonna make more
figured it'd
money
be
off of
good
this than we
for the
are.
videos.
Oh,
Yeah,
brother.
well, I mean, he knows how to hustle and we don't. That's fine, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so. So yeah, if you want to show us a little support for the show, you can. There's a support this show link in the podcast descriptions now, or you can go to buymeacoffee.com/crewexpendable or coolerbot.net.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you. Anything helps.
That's true. That's literally true. Yes.
All right, and yeah, I'll appreciate the birthday gifts, guys. All right, Danny, Bob, I'll expect to see your names among the donor lists.
Okay.
I feel like my appearance on this podcast should, if anything, cost you guys some money. But all right, we'll figure it out.
That's probably true.
I think you should throw some of that Wayland Yutani cash our way.
It's a long contract, Neil.
He probably legally can't. So
65 years. You guys ready to get into a discussion here on Alien Earth episode 3, Metamorphosis?
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Spoiler warning, guys. We're gonna spoil the crap out of this episode.
We sure are.
Yeah. Danny, let's start with how you've been feeling about the series overall so far. Our opinions on episodes 1 and 2 are well documented.
Yeah, sure. So I will say, coming into the show, I am a big fan of Noah Hawley
Okay.
from the previous work. Like, I've watched all of the Fargo and Legion. Like, that was right up my alley. Also a big fan of Timothy Oliphant.
How about
So
those-
there might be some bias there, which maybe we'll have to discuss.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Um,
Speaking of Noah Hawley, though, how about those episodes of Bones he was story editor on?
Oh, I didn't realize he was. I mean, I've watched all the Bones as well. I didn't realize he
Okay.
was involved in that show.
You really are. You're more of a diehard Noah Hawley fan than you realized.
Wow, that's amazing. And I had to go back and watch some of that stuff. But yeah, I really like this show. I like the idea of things happening on Earth. I like the look of the show so far. There's a lot of really cool things. Now, I will say I've seen now I've seen all the Alien movies, which I hadn't last time I was on this show. I think I was still missing a few, but I'm not like a deep diver of the Alien franchise, so more of a casual fan. So if there's that, which might work to my benefit when it comes to this show. But yeah, I really like it. I like what they're doing. My only qualm with this show is the way that it's being released on Hulu. And this
Okay.
is just kind of a dumb thing because this is a show for TV, right? It airs on FX
Sure.
at the same time. My Hulu, and I don't know if this is for everyone, it cuts out the black where the commercials would happen to go.
Mhm.
And they don't fix it for the streaming. Like, I feel like they should edit that or make them shorter or something. So like every once in a while it'll just fade to black for no reason, and then the
Oh,
next
well-
scene will pop up, and I'm like, what the?
Well, not all of us have a Hulu without ads plan, Danny.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh.
say because I'm paying for Hulu. Well, I'm technically paying for Disney Plus, but I have Hulu with ads, and the ads are just there like normal. So
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I feel like my extra bucks should take care of that little editing pause.
All
If
right.
anything, that makes my point even stronger.
We'll write a letter.
But they do that with all their shows, which is, I mean, all the shows that air on TV, like Prior Day or whatever. So that's, and I think that's my main complaint about the show. So that's not even about the show.
Right.
So
Fair.
that should tell you kind of where I stand with it.
Cool.
Okay. All right. How do we feel overall about this episode, just up top, versus the other ones?
there's a lot of individual moments in this episode that I really liked a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
I thought Timothy Oliphant had a lot more to do in this episode than he did in the previous ones. I'm still not sure I'm entirely sold like on his performance overall, but like having more focus on him gave me the chance to really be able to appreciate and understand what it is he's trying to do.
Yeah.
I like how Morrow was in this episode a lot more.
Hell yeah.
He's cool. He's great. Danny, I don't know how you feel about it, but my recollection from the previous episode is that the other three of us are all big fans of Morrow, and so seeing more of him is always good.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, same here. He's great. He's he's doing a great performance. He's like his character. I like his motivation. Like he has nothing to lose except like he mentioned in this episode, this is only his mission is this now.
Yeah.
He doesn't care, right? He doesn't care about anything else. So that makes him dangerous, and I like that.
I also really like I don't remember which member of the Lost Boys it is, but the one that was hanging out with Slightly during the episode.
That was Smee, yeah.
Smee, I really like him a lot. I'm a big fan of his. Like, I was watching this episode going, give me more of him. I love this guy.
I took a note when they were right before Morrow showed up, when Smee caught up with Slightly where the ovomorphs are, and they're just like sitting there swearing and talking about the monsters they see or they saw, and they're like speculating about what's in the ovomorphs and stuff. I was like, these guys are just kind of doing their own little Crew Expendable podcast here, aren't they? This is just what Kenny and I do. We just swear at each other and talk about the monsters we're looking at.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I was watching it and like it was so easy for me to remember because like I think it was in the episode 1 episode that we did.
Yeah.
I specifically mentioned I was very impressed by all of the actors that played the Lost Boys because of how effectively they were able to remind you that they're all still kids. And that's what it was that I liked so much about their interactions. I was like, yeah, man, these are like 14-year-old boys in indestructible robot bodies. Of course, they're going to be running around, goofing off, swearing at each other. Like there was a scene in the previous episode, like where they captured, or I don't know if it was when they captured the eye thing or what, but it was Smee that did it though, where they were walked into the lab or something, and he saw something on the floor, and he goes, gross, but he says it in a way that you could tell he thought it was really cool, you know. Yeah. And it's like his performance is great. I was having a great time watching it. He was definitely my MVP of the episode.
Yeah, I really like those scenes too. Bob, what did you think of this one over episodes 1 and 2?
Overall?
Yeah, just overall.
I was really frustrated at times.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I think I liked this episode.
Okay.
But there's some really confusing parts. Yeah. Especially in the beginning. The beginning of it was very confusing to me.
Okay.
But yeah, I liked the ovomorph scene was very funny, especially when Morrow shows up and the juxtaposition of the two kids being comic relief and Morrow being like playing it deadly serious.
Yeah.
Was very funny. Of like, even the score is just like, it's so serious and tense. And then when it cuts to the kids, it's like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Like that was working for me, where in the first 2 episodes when it would do Stranger Things stuff, I was kind of annoyed with it. But I think here I started to like, I think I'm getting more on board with the vibe.
Okay. That ovomorph scene was a standout to me too. It was really tense, and then especially when Kirsch shows up, you know, my big gripe, Danny, as you know, is I haven't been impressed with Timothy Olyphant's performance yet.
Yeah,
and it's not, and I don't want to put it so much on him as the character hasn't had anything to do in the show yet. And again, finally in this episode, we're starting to see Kirsch have things to do other than like just be a guy who's around and kind of say things that are supposed to sound smart, but don't really actually mean anything.
Yeah.
But that scene where, we got the 2 boys goofing off, and then Morrow shows up and he's like piecing together what's going on with them and what they are while he's trying to like download all of that information into his brain. And they're just sort of like frozen stiff there and don't really understand what's going on. And then Kirsch comes in and like, you know, you've got 2 hybrids, you've got synth, you've got cyborg, right?
Yeah.
and all of this playing out in this like field of ovomorphs, and only one of those is like only Morrow is susceptible to the ovomorphs.
Mm-hmm.
It adds like this other level of tension on top of the scene. I just really like the way that whole thing played out, like from start to finish, from the kids goofing off, through the face off with Morrow, through Kirsch showing up, through
Yeah,
Morrow,
that
taking
was probably that was definitely my favorite scene in the episode.
highlight of the
And
episode.
it might be my favorite scene so far in the show.
I was like, finally, Timothy Olyphant gets to do some acting,
Yeah.
right? Like he gets
Yeah.
to perform as this character finally. That's my opinion.
Cool.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're on board. I was gonna say, like, if you're not convinced by this episode with his performance, like, I don't know if there's anything else is gonna do it. There's a few moments where he still seems really intense, even though like he doesn't really emote. Like when he's watching the kids, like after that guy leaves and talks to them, like the assistant leaves and talks to them and tells them like, don't worry, the guy's not gonna get you or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's just watching through the window because he's kind of against this whole giving them like emotions and everything, right? He mentioned that in the first few episodes.
Yeah.
As a synthetic, especially, I'm sure he feels that way. And then the other scene that I really enjoyed him in was when Boy Cavalier was getting too close to the ovomorph, like, and it started to move. He obviously he caught that because he's got the information, he's looked into it, and he kind of gets him out of the room. Like, not a lot of people tell that guy what to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
He's
like
got-
that.
Bro, I was so fucking mad that he didn't just let that happen.
What a fucking twist that would have been if episode 3, the boy geniuses.
I was so mad that he didn't just let him get face hugged. I would have been like, now that would have been something I did not see coming in episode 3, dude. Fuck.
It almost read as a moment of Kirsch thinking like, I almost want to let this happen, right?
Yeah, because he waited a really long time to pull him back. Like, I was watching it going, I think Kirsch is considering letting it happen.
He was definitely running calculations as to like what the outcome would be from letting it happen or not.
The thing about that I didn't understand though, he pushes him out the door and then he tells him like it's a parasite, it's going to implant a thing in you. I saw it happen with the security guard. He was busted open from the inside, right?
Yeah.
That's he sure got a lot of extra information filled in. Like he must have like read it off
he read the files. I think.
Files in the lab. It must have
yeah.
been on the files in the lab, and he's just not telling Boy Cavalier that.
Excuse me, it's Boy Caviar. Get it right?
Right, that's right. Yeah, Bob calls him Boy Caviar, so that's what we're supposed to call him on the show.
That's right.
Danny.
Oh, don't
Is
pin
that,
it
is
on
that
me.
like top 10 names,
It's
like
your
best
fault,
names
Bob.
on TV?
Sorry, what's that, Danny?
Is that like top 10 names on TV, like Boy Cavalier?
I think it's really stupid, so whatever.
Yeah. Not really a fan of it. It's
Yeah, I think the name Boy Cavalier is insanely dumb, but that's just me.
Boy Cavalier,
thinking 20th
the young trillionaire prodigy who then names his company Prodigy. We're all kind of rolling our eyes at this. Like, it all feels very first draft placeholder ideas that then he was like, you know what? It's kind of funny. We're going to go with it.
Yeah.
It's a little on the nose, you know. I'd like to find out that like his real name is like Frank Jones in like episode 5, right?
Yeah.
And he just like rebranded himself, you know?
Yeah. Well,
I want to go back to Kenny's point real quick
hey, mine.
about the boys and how they act.
Mhm.
I really like the contrast to the girls of the group, Curly and what's her name?
Nibs, I think. Yeah,
Nibs,
I think Nibs.
yes.
Obviously, like we've all heard that girls mature faster than boys, right?
Yeah.
So like their experience to this whole thing is a lot different than the boys. Nibs is still like she's questioning everything, even including like her name, and she's having flashbacks. For a minute, I thought that she might have been implanted with an alien. I was like, that can't happen. She's a synth.
Yeah.
So like I don't know how often you guys check your eyes for for parasites, but
I mean,
I feel like it
daily,
should happen more often.
twice a day,
And
some on the weekends.
yeah, and then you have Curly, who's like, she wants to be in Wendy's spot, right?
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
when she says like, my father used to throw away the first pancake, I was like, damn, I mean, I get that, because yeah, you sometimes have to throw away the first pancake because that's where all the grease still, and it's not a good one. So
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. There's gonna be some stuff there, but
What are
it
you
makes
greasing your
sense that they
pans
would
with,
take this
guys?
differently
But
than the boys.
anyway. Yeah, but it's also kind of like, it's also kind of that shitty thing about how like girls are raised to be competitive with each other in ways that boys aren't.
Yeah, it also feels like Boy Caviar is doing a little bit of like
Grooming.
grooming.
Yeah,
There
a
it
little
feels
bit.
like with I'll give you some books to read, then we can play or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
the fact that he
Yeah.
specifically used the word play, I thought was really weird, but
I mean,
which I
I
guess
know
they're
that.
doing on purpose. I just
Yeah,
I
for
don't, I don't
sure.
love when that happens in media. It's not a
Yeah.
it's not a fun theme to explore.
I mean, again, the show is very clearly trying to make us uncomfortable with this idea, this whole
Right.
experiment in general, right?
yeah.
But yeah, it's still like not crazy about the execution, and he's a fucking creep, right?
I mean, he never wears shoes. That was already like, that already put him on my shit list.
I
Yeah.
have
Day
a fucking
one,
note
so.
about how he needs to put some fucking shoes on.
Yep.
God damn it.
Yeah, I mentioned that in fucking episode 1, dude. The first time we see him, he got his fucking dirty, nasty feet fucking propped up on the table in the first shot where we're introduced to him in. I saw that and I was like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Where is my note? Because it was like a real, I feel like there was like a moment where like it
He was
from
tapping on whatever he was doing on the computer, but he was using his feet because he was
Yeah.
playing around with some puzzle pieces.
Yeah, he had like his legs crossed at the ankle and he was like going between files and he would just like tap the button with his big toe to like move the file. I was like, man, get fucked, all right?
Yeah.
Although if we do find out tonight that Neil hits the record button with his toe,
I do.
That's gonna be very interesting.
But I'm wearing those running shoes that like shape to your toes.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can
That
stop
might be
right there,
worse.
actually.
So here's my note. I wrote down that note after taking notes about Morrow. After Morrow talks to Miss Yutani.
Yeah.
And we find out it's the granddaughter of the Yutani that sent him on the mission in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, very fascinating, of course. And like we get his motivation for like wanting to complete this mission where he's like telling her, he's like, I have the information. I don't have the specimens. They got taken. And she's like, well, just come home. And he's like, I don't have a home. And she's like, well, you signed on for this, you should read your contract. And he's like, no, I'm not complaining. I've dedicated my life to this, right? Like,
Yeah.
I've spent my entire life trying to make this mission happen. It is the only thing I have, and I'm going to complete this mission. It really makes it like it's his life. It's literally his life's work, right?
Yeah,
it's interesting motivation, and it shows why he's so driven, and I think why he's such an interesting character. And you compare that to like we haven't really had that in an antagonist in an alien movie, right?
Yeah.
Burke didn't sacrifice his entire. I mean, well, we can take Aliens, like What If Aliens, with a grain of salt, right? That's not really canon.
Mm-hmm.
But like Burke didn't sacrifice his entire life trying to get a xenomorph specimen. He didn't give up all of that stuff.
Not willingly, yes.
Ash was a synthetic, right? He was just following company orders. He wasn't a human. Maybe the reason they sent Ash on the Nostromo was because their last human they sent and put in charge of this failed, right? Morrow didn't succeed in the mission.
Mm-hmm.
It's all just been kind of like, it's never been like personal. Like the people who have always lost things have always been the survivors that we've been following.
Mm-hmm.
the Ripleys and the people who want to get away from this situation, not the people who want to like ensure this situation is happening. Right.
For sure.
Like not the people who want to make sure the xenomorph gets in the company's hands. We haven't seen that in any of the movies. I don't know. It just really makes Marlowe an interesting and fascinating character that he's just willingly saying like, I got nothing else to do. This is my life's work. I'm getting these fucking specimens back for you, Miss Yutani.
Hell, I got nothing going on. Yeah.
And then we just immediately cut to Boy Cavalier with his feet up on his computer, just like pressing buttons.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck you, man. You have nothing. You have everything. Versus this other guy who just literally was like, I have nothing. I've dedicated my life to this and I have nothing else. And Boy Cavalier has literally everything and anything else you would fucking want in the world, to the point where he's going to have to put shoes on or get dressed in the morning.
Yeah,
and
dude.
he does whatever he wants and gives whatever he wants.
Because he's a fucking loser. That's right.
Yeah. It's just like a really interesting, like, you know, balance between the two of them.
So something that was very confusing to me in the beginning of the episode is when Boy Cavalier is talking to, I think, to Kirsch.
Yeah.
Or no, it's to the other scientists in the lab. When he's like, what's the, like, getting the status report from them, and they're like, Wendy's missing. And then he has this reaction of like, well, how did she go missing? They're children. Like, why were they unattended? But it's like,
yeah.
Bro, you're the one that sent them.
It was your idea. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, because he's not going to take responsibility for anything.
So that's what I wasn't sure of. Like, are they characterizing him as like, he's just like avoiding all responsibility and like wants to be the victim when it's convenient for him? Or is it like faulty writing for them to just have this scene where he's like, where they need to show concern that Wendy's gone?
I think anything shitty about him is on purpose.
Okay, because there was like, even the scientists were like going along with it in a way that seemed like they also didn't understand why she went missing, or they were also I don't know. It was that whole scene was a little confusing.
Well, you get that scene later where they were starting to like talk about how bad of an idea this was, and then he walks in the room and everyone stops talking about it.
Yeah.
Because none of them will stand up to him. The only person who will stand up to him is Kirsch, the robot man, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because again, yeah, because everyone else will just do whatever this, you know, whatever the boy genius says.
Yeah.
And the other thing that was confusing to me was when they, I'm not sure when this happens in the episode. I think it's when they're securing the specimens.
Okay.
But it's a Boy Cavalier line where he's like, I forget. I wish I had taken better notes, but he says something along the lines of like, the ship crashed on their territory and now he's securing Yutani's bioweapons. Like, he uses the word bioweapon. And at this point, they don't know that anything is hostile. They don't know that all they know is it's a like a deep space research vessel. They don't know anything further. So it's like odd that he immediately said bioweapon.
Well, maybe I didn't catch that. Maybe at that point he knew, because they had already had the attack from the Oculus, or however people are calling it online, OCELLUS, little octopus eye thing.
Yeah.
So maybe they knew at least some of this stuff was hostile, right? And maybe he had seen some of the files from Kirsch, and he knew that it was like, they knew that there were 5 hostile species that had never been encountered before. And that's when he was like, taking that.
Didn't that happen after this search team came back anyway?
I think so.
And like Joe and Wendy were both like really fucked up, and clearly something attacked them.
Right. It just.
Yeah.
You're right. It felt weird that he just referred to it as bioweapons and not like.
Right.
Just, alien species that they found.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was immediately like, a new bioweapon with acid for blood. That was the scene, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that was
even if he didn't fully know, like, Yutani called them last episode and he knows what business they're in, right? They're not. There's got to be a reason. Like Yutani probably already does all kind of fucked up shit. So if they're so interested in getting their stuff back, it's got to be because they're doing something dangerous anyway. So he is supposed to be smart.
I
So
mean,
I'm sure he put it together regardless.
Yeah, I
Well-
didn't think anything of it, mainly because I was like, oh, if he referred to it as bioweapon, then he probably immediately saw they were dangerous, and his first thought was, how can we weaponize it and use it for ourselves? So
Sure, he's probably just being greedy for
At this
himself.
point, true. At this point, Whale and Yutani, they are in the terraforming business, right? That's their like manufacturing everything is geared towards like colonization. They're not like a weapons manufacturer. So it felt weird that he was
Right.
jumping straight to assuming that they were using alien
that's what the
species
public
as
knows about.
bioweapons.
that's fair.
Yeah. I don't know.
Speaking of which, what did everyone think of the scene where the xenomorph shows up and attacks Wendy and Joe?
All right. May I go?
Yes.
May I go, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is this I think all right, this xenomorph, I talked about this last episode about how the xenomorph was really picky and choosy about when it would kill someone and when it wouldn't, right?
Uh-huh.
And we
Yep.
see more of that this time. And at the end of the episode, instead of letting I think it was Tom pointed out, instead of letting Facehugger grab Joe, he grabbed the xenomorph, grabbed Joe and took him away from the facehuggers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then in this episode, when the xenomorph has Joe and Wendy cornered in the back of that meat truck, set in the trap, right? Alleged that it had allegedly made.
It
And
instead
then-
crawls on top of it.
It then leaves the entrance and crawls on top of it, and then apparently just stands there in one place and allows itself to get stabbed.
And then it rolls the truck over, which
It
that
sure
was
does.
that was a little baffling to me.
This is it just a dumb xenomorph?
I think
Maybe.
it's smarter than the xenomorphs we've met before, and that's why it's doing all this. Like it learned from the last battle where the guy with the robot arm took him out, so it can probably tell that Wendy's not organic. So he's got to be careful around her, and he can't just like go head on into her, right?
So are you
so-
positing that when it broke? So in the last episode, when it broke free from its net and it had Morrow dead to rights from behind, Morrow had no weapon on him, and the xenomorph had killed 6 other people around him and could have just killed Morrow in that same split second. It didn't, because Morrow had shocked him 20 minutes prior.
Or because Morrow is not fully organic, so it knows there's some kind of threat there. Even he doesn't know how Morrow works, right? It's just another creature that he just met. So I think they can tell.
But Morrow's got enough human in him. He's got all the worst parts of a human, right? He said that.
As
Maybe-
you did, yes.
I mean,
Maybe
we
he's
did
got
we did
more-
speculate
more,
maybe the cyborg
Maybe he's got more
part of
synthetic
him.
than we think.
Yeah. But this xenomorph is not. It hasn't shown its cunning at all, like the big chap in Alien, right? It's been really bad at hiding this entire time. But it's also not just like been mindless fodder like we sometimes see in alien things. It just seems just kind of slow a little bit.
I mean, I think a lot of it just boils down to this is how you write the horror action scene.
I guess, because then
you
again,
you avoid the obvious thing and then you do something kind of outside of the box. So,
But-
it has them cornered in the trailer. You avoid the obvious thing of it barreling down there and just shredding them, and have it do something else.
but the something else still needs to track logically, right?
No,
because
for sure. I don't agree with it. I'm just saying that's.
Yeah.
I feel like that's their writing reasoning.
because the
I
other
mean,
thing it
he
does
got
is
them
when
both in the end, so maybe
when
that
it-
was the best path.
when after it's tailed Joe, right,
Yeah.
and thrown him down, it then climbs on top of him and then just sort of chills for 10 seconds or so before and gives
Sensual little
Wendy
slobber down.
Yeah.
and gives Wendy the chance to like hook its jaw, which was badass. Like
that was pretty badass.
was
I
cool.
did think that was really fucking cool. Also, I'd like to point out how maybe I've never noticed it before, or maybe this is the first time, but that xenomorph specifically definitely had a Simpsons style overbite that was really funny to me.
that's what Tom was talking about, since they changed the way that the suit fit on the actor so he could see through the head as opposed to through the neck. So they had to sort of change the head configuration. Like there were parts of that encounter that I thought were really cool, but then there were just other parts where I was like, I can't follow the logic of this monster. It's not acting in the way that we've seen these things act before, and it just feels like it's kind of doesn't really know what it's doing.
Yeah, but they got to make exciting TV.
So
And
here's
the
other
ones we've seen, like those are later iterations of this, right? Because this is all happening before the stuff we've seen. Most of it, like other than the prequel movies, whatever.
later iterations, but I mean, I saw something, I can't exactly pinpoint where. It might have been on a Xenopedia Discord or something.
Of
So
course.
I don't know how factual it is that these eggs came from Acheron, from LV426. So these are the same eggs as the big chap, same crop. Okay.
Well, you did say it came from a moon, so that would track.
Yeah, he did say that's where he got it.
Yeah. He does say these came from a moon, far away. I don't know that that's true. Okay. Something I read. Might be speculation. Might have been something somebody saw on one of the computer screens and, blew up.
Well, look, hold on. Sorry to interrupt you. I think that would track. That would give Weyland Yutani knowledge of LV of the moon, and then give them further reason to send the colony there later and etc.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll get a definitive answer on that later on down the line. The fandom works hard at solving these things, right? If the show doesn't tell us directly. So I don't know that it's that this being before or after Alien it's before Alien. I don't know that makes that much of a difference. But the one thing I was thinking was, is this just, but this doesn't make sense either, because everything that happened in Alien happened very quickly. I was thinking, like, are we also dealing with just like a juvenile xenomorph this entire time? Had it just not grown? Because, they pick up the skin at the ovomorph, slightly picks up the skin at the little ovomorph, crop there. So had it just not been that long that this thing had been fully grown, maybe they were, maybe the idea was like this xenomorph also a child, right?
I mean, immaturity is a theme on the show, so
Yeah,
that would track.
But that's, again, pure speculation.
All right, hold on, Neil. I'm shooting down this theory.
Bring it on.
I thought you were calling Noel Hawley.
I'm calling Noel Hawley right now. I got him on speakerphone.
Yeah, he's a big fan of the show.
LV-426 is one of the 3 moons orbiting the gas giant Calpamos in the Zeta Reticuli system, 39 light years away from Earth. 39 light years. Do we know how fast the ship is traveling? This 65-year trip, will that be able to cover 39 light years each way?
I mean, with time dilation,
I don't see why not.
Do we know how long the trip that the Nostromo was on?
Off the top of my head, no.
Nostromo trip length. It's gonna get.
If someone in the show doesn't know, I don't know if that's an answer.
You're gonna bring up the Joseph Conrad novel.
It says a 1-month trip to Neptune. Let's see.
I think it was supposed to be a 3-hour tour.
Expected to be 8 months long, but extended due to the added weight of the refinery and damaged shuttle.
Okay, so they went way farther than LV-426.
Well, they collected 4 other specimens also.
True,
and it would kind of track that they might pick up the xenomorph on the way back, right? That's not your first stop.
No, yeah, that's you guys want anything else while we're here, kind of thing,
right? It's it's like if you're picking up, seafood, you're not going to want that sitting in the car for too long.
Yeah.
What I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's late.
It sure is.
All right.
Which of the samples is the seafood? The one with the eyes?
I mean, that would be my guess. He's an octopus, so.
Yeah.
Well, no, the xenomorph, because we see the little embryo swimming around at the end.
That was really cool. I don't know if that's ever been shown, like what's inside of a face hugger.
I don't think it has been either.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever really.
That was really neat.
Yeah, as far as I know, that is the first time they've ever dissected a face hugger.
It is also in direct opposition to Alien Romulus, which established the idea of the Plagiaris praepotens being deposited in that then the enzymes that grow the xenomorph inside you, as opposed to a little squiggly embryo sperm guy, right?
This is true. This is very true, actually.
This is, I mean, you could argue that those face huggers in Romulus were recreated from the black goo.
Man, the black goo is such a fucking...
From the big chap.
It makes everything so complicated in the most annoying way.
It does.
The Covenant ones had the little spores, so like I think they come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah, I know. And like, listen, our stance on the show is, our official stance on the show is who cares, right?
That's right.
We like to talk about it because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to speculate and to like see what fits with what, but like at the end of the day, who cares?
Sure.
You know? It doesn't all have to fit together. And I think you could make a case that both could exist because the face huggers in Romulus were artificially created and they were created from the big chap. So maybe they do function a little differently. Maybe they do deposit genetic material as opposed to
crab.
An actual little dude, right?
They're made of pollock and whitefish.
And yeah, delicious as well. But I did think when watching that scene, I was like looking at the squiggly little guy swimming around. And then I was thinking about Wendy's paper shredder sword, right?
Yep.
I was like, Noah Hawley, this is two faculty references so far.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which I'm on board with.
Yeah.
Give me more.
Not a complaint. This is not a complaint, mind you. This is I'm championing this, and I want there to be. I'm looking forward to more the faculty references. I want somebody to make up a drug that they snort out of pens, right? I want that drug to kill the xenomorphs. I just want this to be a secret faculty remake in the future.
In the next episode, they're going to be watching Fast and Furious, and we're going to see Jordana Brewster.
We're going to get
that'll bring it all back full circle to the faculty.
Another brick in the wall, needle drops, right?
This is all very interesting to me because I have never seen the faculty. So
well, let me tell you all about it. Okay, so we start at football practice.
All right,
and
I think you'd get a kick out of it, Kenny.
I probably would.
Is being a real asshole and yelling and screaming at all the football players because they suck.
Who is Robert Patrick, you said?
Yeah, it's Robert Patrick.
Robert Patrick.
Right?
All right, cool.
The T-1000?
Yeah, that's Robert Patrick.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to go through the whole plot, but
I figured you were going to stop there because it was just a gag. So.
All right. Faculty rules, guys.
All right.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So can we go back real quick? Because that was Hermit's lung, right?
That was, yeah. And
it was
a second to realize. I had to rewind it because I was taking notes, so I missed at first. I
definitely at first thought they were turning him into a cyborg.
Me too, and I think that's what's going to happen. Regardless.
I wasn't probably. Sure. So hold on, I'm just. This is what Neil's going to say, but I'm going to say it first and take the credit.
Nice.
Go for it.
So I'm assuming what happened was he was pierced by the tail through his lung.
Mm-hmm.
They get him on at Neverland Ranch, and they pop that lung out, put it in the jar of liquid. I assumed to repair it and then put it back inside of him at some point. But then
Kirsch dropped that tadpole in it.
Yeah, and was that just him doing a David, or was that him doing? It was, or did they harvest that organ for this experiment?
I was not going to say that. I thought they harvested it for the experiment, but
Yeah,
that is
same.
a brilliant observation. If they're going to then stick that back inside him, because he's just like chilling in a med pod, right? So if they are
Right.
secretly implanting him,
Yeah, that's why I
wild.
was unsure, because it seems like they're putting it in that thing to repair it and then pop it back, because they like hooked it up to the fittings. You know, they use hose connectors.
Yeah.
that
I don't remember. Did the show what happened to the lung after the thing went into it?
no, they just show
bled
it
a little.
burrowing in.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it just cut from there, so we didn't see what happened. Okay, got it.
But it makes
what-
sense that they're fucking with, because he opened his eyes during the surgery and looked at the screen and could see these incisions they were making on the lung.
Yeah.
And then like that seemed unusual. So he might be onto the idea that they're screwing with his lung, maybe. But he's,
Also,
like in a med pod. I think you're right, Bob. I think they're not going to stick this back in him, and he's going to be secretly implanted.
and speaking of Bob being right about things, I'd like to
I
go.
like this direction.
I'd like to go back to an idea you posited in the previous episode of our show, where you pitched that you think that he is actually a spy working for like Wayland Yutani or whoever. This episode is making me think even more so that he probably is, due to the scene where after Wendy got trapped behind the door, he in like 3 seconds pulled out, unscrewed, and hot wired that door to reopen it. And I was like, why does this motherfucker know how to do that?
Oh well, he's got army training, right? He saw combat before he was
He's
a
a
medic.
medic, though.
Yeah, he took door hot wiring as an elective.
Yeah.
Would have made more sense if he like took out like some ace bandage and like antiseptic spray and put that all over the controls and fixed it that way.
That's right. That should
I'm
have
sure
worked.
he had to
That's
hotwire a
within
car
his skill
in
set.
battle. Before we move forward from too many things here, and I want to talk about, is Wendy now connected to the xenomorphs? Like, what's going on?
I don't know what's going on with that. She clearly is, but I don't know what that's supposed to mean or where that's going.
I have two theories, because you pointed this out last time as well, Bob, that clicking and stuff was when she was around the xenomorphs, and it seems very obvious in this that it's when she's around the xenomorphs also, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Except what if it's when she's around her brother?
Interesting.
Because I don't think she's encountered a xenomorph when she hasn't been around her brother. And when she was walking into the lab and she had this crazy seizure and she fell over, her brother's lung was chilling in there.
Did it happen when she went to go rescue him from the trailer, when the xenomorph, like, did it happen then?
No.
I don't know if it happened then, but the xenomorph was also there at the same time. Right.
And I think during the scene in episode 2 where they like meet again, I don't think it happened then either.
Well, it may be like a danger
stressful
sense or something with him.
situation.
I mean, I don't really know. Maybe she can sense when her brother's hurt or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
She was wincing in. Oh, I guess she was wincing in pain during both surgeries.
Right.
I'm assuming they were happening simultaneously.
Yeah.
The facehugger surgery and the brother surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed it was edited like they were happening together, but they had that lung in there.
That's true. And also, she walked in when they were doing the facehugger operation and passed out on the floor, and then Kirsch walked over and dropped it in. Seemed to not notice
they just did not care at all. They did not even acknowledge she was unconscious on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, Kirsch doesn't care, and Curly doesn't care either.
Okay, I got it.
Curly don't care.
I got it
Curly
figured
don't
out.
care.
What's up?
Okay.
I also think it could be. So the other thing I was thinking is that maybe this is how xenomorphs communicate, using some kind of frequency that she can catch on, because she's in synth with a human brain. Because we saw the eggs were also like pulsating, so it's like they all kind of. I don't know if this has been explored, like how.
Yeah, we definitely.
It's a hive mind, right? Kind of.
It is, yeah.
Yes.
Sort of in a way, yeah. And it's like she definitely is able to tap into that, just like the fucking Decker from Sea of Sorrows could.
Well, hey, not only that, there isn't there the one with the hot alien lady.
I'm listening.
The comic with the
Bloodlines.
yes,
Which blade?
not Blade.
It's-
The hot
yeah.
alien
Oh,
lady.
kind of.
Yeah, he
Oh,
said.
which
He said
blade?
Witchblade.
Which
Oh,
blade?
Witchblade. Sorry,
No,
I thought you were
that-
talking about Blade movies.
I mean, Blade's pretty good looking too, so I
Blade,
don't know.
Blade
yeah.
Trinity.
Yeah,
Because
Blade
in
Trinity.
that they were also positing that the face hugger, like the ovomorph, draws you in, like it gives you like this the mental like complacency with getting face hugged, so you can further the species.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're talking about the goddess.
Yes.
The goddess.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's my ultimate theory on what's going on, and walk with me on this because
God, what if they do the goddess in this? This will
here's
become my
what it is.
favorite thing.
Her brother,
Yeah.
is the
A xenomorph.
alien.
Is an alien?
Yes. She's envisioning him getting surgery to fix his lung, but in reality, that was them cutting up the xenomorph that they recovered.
Uh-huh.
We only ever see her interact with her brother when there's a xenomorph around. I think she's malfunctioning. She's seeing her brother as the xenomorph.
Interesting.
That's why
Okay.
she can sense both of them seemingly when they're around, or one or the other, but they're
And then
always in the same place.
And then she cut up her brother behind that door, not the xenomorph.
That's why he was injured.
I don't know if I can go there, but it's interesting.
It's a stretch.
It sure is an idea.
It's a stretch, but I think you're onto something here.
All right, YouTube comments. You agree with me on this?
I can't specifically pull out of my brain immediately while we're sitting here right now. I cannot pull out any specific thing that definitively refutes your statement, so I can't say it is definitively wrong. You might be onto something. Who knows?
You know, thinking about it, when that xenomorph got right, when she killed it,
Yeah.
acid all over the floor, did not, this is a callback to an episode Kenny and I recorded that you guys will all hear later this week, did not melt a giant hole towards the Undercity.
It's true. It did not.
So I don't think it was really a xenomorph.
It's her brother.
Yeah.
So was the xenomorph trying to hotwire the door?
Yeah, but all it really did was melt
hotwired
some
the door.
acid, or drip some acid on it to get to its prey.
So are you suggesting that the xenomorph that we saw in the episode was not there, and it was instead Joe that she locked behind the door and then opened and went in and killed him?
Yeah, she murdered Joe and
But
thinking it
with
was
a
the
hook on
xenomorph,
his
and
tongue.
That's right.
She pierced him.
what we think is Joe is actually a xenomorph, but like the ET of xenomorphs, where it's like kind of cool and friendly.
Are you suggesting that he's been a xenomorph the entire time we've seen him?
I think
No,
it's a
no, she just-
construct of her memory. I don't think he exists.
Okay, so we're on two different paths here. All right.
Oh,
I think it's an
like more
implanted
beautiful-
memory from
Like-
Boy Caviar.
like
Okay.
Beautiful Mind.
Yeah.
So there's
where
no
he
brother
sees
at
that-
all.
oh,
You're
saying.
spoilers, I guess.
It's a way for her to track the xenomorph. She is a tool to recover alien assets
So what about all the times we see him when she's not around?
implanted.
Mhm.
Okay. So like the
Really
times
rifle.
where they were up on the roof and the other soldiers were harassing him when the ship actually crashes, he just like wasn't there and they were making fun of no one.
There's just some other guy.
Okay.
No, that was him, but he actually died when the ship like broke the building.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
That's why he doesn't help anyone when they arrive at the crash site.
That's why he just walked past.
That's why the medic is like, don't worry, there are medics further down while he's
Those are
walking
just
by.
putting stickers on the walls.
Tent instead of helping that guy who's clearly on fire.
That's right.
I do have another theory as to, and this is like a long thing, so not long, like a long-term theory.
Bring it on.
And I think the reason that, so this all happens before Alien, the first movie, right?
2 years. 2 years
before the Nostromo's mission
So-
begins.
I think one of the things that people were saying, like leading up to the show, was like, well, how can there be xenomorphs on Earth if, like, well, you know, supposedly the first encounter was on the movie or whatever. I think that because this all took place, like Prodigy is a new company.
Yeah.
that we've never heard of before this.
Mhm,
And it all took place in Prodigy City, whatever it's called.
Yep.
And then everything was taken to the island that was owned by Prodigy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That the reason we've never heard of any of this stuff in the world of Aliens before the original film was because it all got contained on the island, like kind of like Jurassic Park style, where all the creatures just got left behind.
Yeah.
And then Weyland Yutani whenever Weyland Yutani came to be, they're like, oh, we're just gonna keep this to ourselves and cover it up.
No, I think that's 100% correct, and it's also one of my big gripes with the series is that they've created a series called Alien Earth and made a series that could take place on any location because it has absolutely no ramifications and it doesn't matter that it's taking place on Earth whatsoever because it's taking place in a fictional city, and then now it's going to be taking place in a fictional isolated location.
Mm-hmm.
And just it's going to get erased off the map, and it's going to be like it never happened in the first place. It's not even going to be the reason Weyland Yutani knows about xenomorphs, because the show began with Weyland Yutani knowing about xenomorphs and having one on their research vessel.
Yeah.
It's, it's just going to, it's my fear is that it's going to be, it's going to write itself out of continuity by the time it's over, because it's just not going to matter to anything.
One thing I would like to point out is that going back through and watching the first movie again, you will point out that the company they actually work for is never named anywhere in the movie. They're only ever referred to as the company, and the company was not named as Weyland Yutani until Aliens, which takes place 57 years after the first movie.
Sure.
So how do we even know for sure that the company they're referring to in Alien is Weyland Yutani? The other thing I'd like to say,
Ripley knows that the company is Weyland Yutani.
Neil, the other thing I'd like to mention is how you said that was what your fear was. My fear is that the final episode of this show is going to have a digitally de-aged Ripley in it.
No.
Oh my God. I hope they go a different route.
I'm really hoping they do not go the Rogue One route and just toss that in at the very end of the show, but I am very worried that they will.
Hold on. They do reference Weyland Yutani in Alien.
They do. They just don't name it out loud. They call it the company, but so maybe we'll get a de-aged Veronica Cartwright instead. Would you be okay with that?
What if we just see Ripley's daughter?
What Amanda? If maybe they'll just reuse the Ian Holm from Romulus?
Rook.
Yeah.
What's her name from Stranger Things? That she was one of the synths in like the fourth one or the third one.
Winona Ryder.
Call
in the fourth one.
What if we see her burn her modem?
What if Autons are in this movie?
What if? Yeah, I think Kirsch is an Auton, guys.
You think so?
I think so. Because there was a comment. I think it was in the last episode where Dingus, Boy Dingus, was talking about like, oh, we make the machines, and then the machines make the new machines, and they make the machines, and they replace us. But what we're doing is unlocking human potential by turning them into machines.
He was implying the existence of Autons, is what you were saying.
And he was implying the existence of Autons, exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Also, Boy Dingus.
Yeah.
I have one more question for you guys, since I haven't heard the first two episodes. I'm sure you've already talked about this. Maybe. What do you guys think it's in that frozen room?
The frozen room.
The place that they keep freezing over. Or
is this what the guy keeps spraying on the walls?
Yeah, because it looks like it's like, I don't know.
I was wondering what was up with that guy.
Is this just some guy just keeps spraying something on the walls and he's just like refreezing something?
I mean, it feels very Brazil-like.
Yeah.
I have no idea what he's doing.
I'm gonna need you to elaborate, Bob.
The film Brazil.
Yeah, the Terry Gilliam film Brazil, yeah.
That part I'm on board with. I haven't seen the film, so I don't know what.
I mean, there's just a lot of like non-connected to plot, but
The movie has a lot of surreal imagery to
Yeah,
it.
surreal imagery.
That doesn't necessarily narratively mean anything, but it's like thematically supposed to kind of put you off kilter, you know?
And it's working. I mean, the guy's just been there spraying stuff in the last 2 episodes, and this time he was a part of Nib's like weird hallucinations, like her existential breakdown about who she is and what she has done, and is she even herself anymore, right?
My thinking was that Cavalier's real body is in there, and he's already uploaded himself.
You think he's a hybrid?
But I think synths can tell one another.
That would be a fascinating turn, and then that would make that, my dad always says you throw out the first pancake line extra interesting if it turns out he was actually the first hybrid.
That is kind of a cool idea. That never occurred to me. I do kind of like that idea, though.
I do too.
Well, maybe Noah Hawley thought of it first, and I'm just and I'm just one of the 1,000 monkeys on the typewriter.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, he is obsessed with children, right? He has that when he's talking to.
Okay, I do not like the way you phrase that.
What?
He's obsessed with children.
Well, he's obsessed with children, though. He is.
Boy Cavalier, you mean, right? Not Noah Hawley.
Yes,
no, Boy Cavalier. Yes, okay, Boy Cavalier is obsessed with children. I don't know what Noah Hawley's deal is, and I'm not implying anything. Okay.
I mean, neither was I. I was just observing that I didn't like the way Neil phrased that idea. That's all.
Boy Cavalier is obsessed with children. He has that speech about how, like, do you know what a prodigy is? When he's talking to Curly, and she's like, "Oh, it's a child genius." He's like, "Yeah, but it has to be a child because children's minds are filled with infinite wonder or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And imagination." And he's going to lose that, right? Because he's growing up. So
unless he's not,
exactly. So I think that's a very interesting.
Maybe.
Yeah, and maybe he figured out a way to disguise himself from being. Yeah. Like I don't think Morrow knew that they were that Smee and Slightly were synthetics at first.
Yeah, I think he eventually kind of figured it out.
He definitely thought, I believe he thought they were just straight synths like Kirsch. And then when they mentioned their parents, he's like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah. Well, he also says, like, you guys are kids, right? Yeah. He, like, mentions that straight out.
Yeah, he thought they were children. He's like, you guys are like children. Maybe you got to touch them to know.
All right.
Do you guys think they're going to put a xenomorph
Jesus,
on that?
Kenny. We're going to get comments.
On the sheep?
That's definitely what I thought they were doing when they showed that sheep. I was like, oh, fuck, we're about to get a sheep xenomorph. A sheepomorph.
Sheep-nomorph.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one huge Cinema Sins style gripe with the lab scene.
All right.
So they got wireless charging docks to put your consciousness in a robot.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Sure.
But even in ye old today times of 2025, you can have a 4K camera that fits in the palm of your hand.
I knew someone was going to bring up the videotape, the video
the over-the-shoulder dad cam that they use, not to film the softball game in 1988, but to film the alien dissection, is the largest camera I've ever seen.
Danny Tanner's camera from Full House.
Yeah. What is that?
I definitely thought you were going to point out how Smee was surprised that they have cameras in their eyes. I'm like, yeah, man, I thought you already knew that.
Yeah, that was funny. But
when that's funny, right? Because like you have the technology to put a camera in a synthetic's eye.
Yeah.
That I don't think the kids see in like 360p or whatever, right? I'm sure they see in full high definition.
Yeah. And then she busts out the literal handheld VCR camera. Good times.
Yeah. That's a good, why didn't they just record through the synthesize unless they're trying to keep this off record?
Maybe Kirsch is like a collector of old technology.
Yeah.
I think there's a part of me that thinks Kirsch might be a double agent, right?
You think?
I think he might be. He gets, as much as he says that, we shouldn't let these kids have emotions or whatever he was saying early on. He gets frustrated so easily at people.
Yeah.
Like he clearly has emotions.
He definitely also doesn't seem to be fully loyal to Boy Cavalier anyway.
Right.
He
And
hates
a
him.
couple
He hates
people-
humans. He hates everybody.
Yeah.
A couple people who work there seem to not really take Boy Cavalier seriously either. So
Yeah.
it does feel puts a weird dynamic to the whole company because no one respects him, and also seemingly is kind of on their own initiative to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just like around a lot, which I
Yeah.
guess makes sense because he's just supposed to be like the asshole kid who
That's
fell
what
into
these big
being
tech
famous.
CEOs do, right? They're just like people that wander around while everybody else is actually doing the work.
I mean, I'm
Pretty
not
much.
saying
That's true.
I'm not saying this is a clever or original thought, but to me, that kind of shit is like he's very obviously extremely Elon coded in that
Yeah.
way.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not saying that's like an original thought or that I'm the first person to think, oh, that's like what the model is here. But like that would go a long way towards explaining why he's seemingly in control of everything, but everyone can just kind of do their own thing and no one really likes him,
But in
Mhm.
that allegory, everyone's sucking up to Elon. Here, no one seems to suck up to
That's
Boy
true.
Caviar. They're like,
That's true.
They're like, all right, kid, whatever. We're doing science here. Go off and put your feet on the desk some more.
Yeah. Go play
That's
with
true.
Go play with your iPad. Go literally play with your iPad.
Yeah,
He's building his Legos.
that's right.
I did think it was kind of odd, but I guess they're trying to contain the situation that they brought the survivors of the search and rescue squad back to the island also.
Yeah, I did think that was a little weird, but I was like, I suppose it's just a way to keep the entire like show contained to this location,
Yeah,
Right.
it keeps the incident contained from the public too, and it also is going to give us more bodies for the monsters. I'm also
Yeah.
really excited that we're not done with the lowercase a aliens yet.
Mm-hmm,
We got a whole nother round of them breaking loose and killing people.
I
to look forward
love
to.
seeing I fucking love every single time one of the non-Xeno aliens pops up. I'm rubbing my hands going, oh boy.
I think that's
There
gonna
are two that we haven't seen out and about, right? We only saw the leeches and the
Octopus guy.
the Oculus, the
Yeah,
Oculus
but there's
Rift,
two more
There's
that
the
we
big
haven't really
flower.
seen in action.
Yeah,
the
the
one
big
that
flower.
presents as flora but might be fauna.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that thing. God.
And the leeches,
xenomorph.
and then the xenomorph. So there's one.
There's
Yeah.
one we haven't seen.
Well, I mean, but we haven't seen the flower do anything outside of its
That's true.
containment thing,
Right. We
That's
just
true.
seen his little tentacle come out and like
Yeah.
right?
And wave.
You know.
And to close out on Boy Cavalier, because and also I guess to protect myself from the comments, I understand that the theory of him being synthetic doesn't make sense because the egg reacted to him, but that could also have to do with the camouflage of his
it's
syntheticness.
a good point. He's maybe he's more a cyborg, right? But maybe
Yeah.
he's looking at maybe
So
yeah.
maybe his original brain is still human. Everything else.
Could
Well, the ovomorph reacting to him is an important part. I'm not
Yeah.
chopping out that bit where we speculate he is probably not synthetic. He
Yeah, I
probably
agree. It's
is
just a
planning on
wild
becoming
theory.
a hybrid. That's why he's running these experiments.
Could be.
But maybe
Yeah.
he's already got some cyborg implants or something, trying to keep himself young. Who knows? Who knows how that works, right?
Yeah, that's
Does your
right.
body grow old, but like your robot arm stays young?
Probably.
We'll have to ask Morrow.
That's right.
I wish we had explored a little bit more the idea of how there's kind of like this class warfare between like humans and synths and cyborgs
Oh yeah,
that we saw in the first episode with the crew.
that's
Oh.
yeah. That was yeah. The crew was like really giving Morrow shit for being a cyborg, right? They're like, why would
And the other guy
he's a
too, like the
cyborg?
one that they knew he was a synth that watched them sleep or whatever.
Mr. Ting, I think his name was.
something like that.
And the class stuff is all over Romulus too.
Yeah,
obviously,
sure was.
right.
Yeah, that was a really, really heavy theme of Romulus for sure.
Yeah. But I don't know. Doesn't really seem to be that much of a core tenet of this series.
Yeah, it's definitely something they've mentioned and touched on, but it doesn't really seem to be as much of a theme for this show as like ideas of like identity and self-determinism and like what it means to be human, which is also something we were talking about on the last episode, how like every alien media does that for the last like 15 years now.
Yeah.
Right. And the fact that Romulus wasn't really doing that in that way was kind of a saving grace for it until it started to do that. Right.
Yeah.
Until it got weighed down by the same baggage that's weighed down the series since Prometheus,
Yeah.
Arguably since maybe the last act of Resurrection even.
Maybe. Could be.
Once that basketball went in the hoop,
Actually,
everything was out the window.
actually, it started with Resurrection, didn't it? It started with Call.
Yeah, kind of.
It started with the Autons.
Yeah.
I like a synth reveal. That's my favorite part of the franchise.
Yeah, they don't bother with it anymore. They're just
I know.
like, look at the synth. You look at the synth in the middle of our trailer.
Well, I mean, unless one of these human characters is revealed to be a synth.
Yeah.
Or revealed to be a xenomorph.
Or a xenomorph, that's right.
I'm waiting for one of
Xenomorph
the
in
synths
disguise.
to be revealed to be a human.
Could be.
Right.
Could be.
Nibs' story is interesting. I like that one of these characters is sort of regretting this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know how far they can really go with that.
I think we're going to get some body horror out of it, and it's going to be annoying.
I thought she was going to take her eye out.
So did I.
Yeah.
And I don't like that stuff, so I was gonna be annoyed by it.
Well, I don't like it either, but it would have been cool.
It would have been cool. I agree with that.
You guys see Brightburn?
Oh yeah, I saw Brightburn, baby. Hell yeah.
Danny, you said you saw it.
I did. Yeah, not my favorite thing.
Did you see Brightburn? Bob?
Brightburn. No, I don't.
That's that movie that's like, what if...
It was the movie from like 2017 or 18 or something, where what if Superman was evil, and it was a horror movie where Superman is the monster.
But like Superman crashes on Earth as a baby and is being raised.
Yeah, he's like a teenager, so it's technically Superboy, but yeah.
But he's evil, right?
Yeah, okay. But he's evil.
I was watching that movie. It was freaking the shit out of me. It was really good until it got to a point. I think it's in a diner. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It sure is in a diner. You're correct.
Where like, is it glass light bulbs shatter?
Yes.
And fall into,
right?
And glass falls and stabs somebody in the eyeball.
It is not his mom. It is, I believe, the mom of the girl he has a crush on, because she was mad that he had a crush on her and told him he wasn't allowed to see her anymore.
Yeah. And as soon as that glass got stuck in her eye, I turned the movie off and I haven't watched it. So I haven't gone back since. I was like, oh, nope, I'm done.
Yep. Yeah. The glass shatters and she looks up and a big shard of it goes directly through the middle of her eye. And then she screams. And then there is a shot of her pulling it out of her eye.
That's what it was. It was when she was going to pull the glass out. I was like, I can't. I have not.
Yeah, like no joke, man. If you didn't watch the rest of the movie, you actually missed some pretty gnarly gore later on in the movie.
I imagine so, but like,
that eye scene is definitely the worst one in the movie for sure.
It's been like 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen that movie more than once, and the eye scene with the glass is the hardest scene in the movie to watch. I'm telling you that right now.
Just fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, eye stuff freaks me out. Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm so obsessed with little squid dude.
He has plenty of them. He has so many eyes to go around.
Yeah.
I love that guy so much, and he rules so hard.
I don't know how much more I have to say about this episode. It is very clearly a transitional episode, right? We're out of the tower. We're moving to a new location, which is probably going to be the permanent location for the rest of the series. I don't know, of course. Of course, I would be thrilled if we were not on an isolated island surrounded by water for the rest of the series. Mm-hmm. But I have a feeling we're going to be.
I mean, of course, as Resurrection pointed out, xenomorphs can swim. So
Yeah, but can they swim across oceans? I mean,
I don't know, but they can swim, and they don't
can
need
take
to
over
breathe.
something that.
So
Yeah, they can just get on a fish or something.
yeah, they don't need to breathe, and like they can swim and they can take stuff over. Well, they can't take stuff over, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm interested as to how Morrow is gonna like make it to the island, because I think that's definitely the play right after he's having this conversation with
yeah. Well,
yeah, he definitely said he's going to go and get them back, which means he needs to go to. I was going to say Prodigy City, but I think that's already where he is, I guess.
right.
So he definitely needs to go to like the Neverland facility, and so it'll be interesting to see how he gets there.
They've shown many a Chekhov's boat.
That's correct. Yeah.
The little canal boats.
But he's got that bug he put in Slightly's neck. Maybe his goal is just to keep manipulating Slightly into doing stuff for him.
Maybe.
Or maybe he can like further hack Slightly since it is a synthetic body. I don't know.
Bro, I was so what's the word, sad, I guess, when Slightly did agree to quote unquote be his friend, because he's like, won't you be my friend? And I was like, don't fucking do it, dude, don't do it. And then he's like, okay, and I was like, no, my man, don't do it.
He's never watched the movie It.
Yeah, tell me about it. But speaking of which, though, yeah, Neil, you said you didn't really have much else.
No, I guess I'm. This is a transitional episode, and I'm interested in seeing where the series goes from here. You know, it feels a little bit like a reset, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Which I don't think it's too early for a reset. It feels, it feels like we exhausted everything we were going to get out of the premise of the crashed spaceship, I suppose. Although I would have loved the premise of xenomorphs being loose in a 100-story tower, right? For 6 episodes.
Yeah, like you were mentioning in the last episode we recorded, you were kind of hoping this was going to be The Raid or Dread, but with xenomorphs.
Yeah, that would have been dope. We're not going to get that.
Yeah.
But I'm on board. I'm on board to see where it goes from here. There was some gnarly stuff in this, and I really want to figure out what's going on with Wendy and this mental connection, these seizures that she's having. I do wonder if it's more a connection to her brother than to the creatures, because how could it specifically be a connection to the xenomorphs, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
But I guess we'll see. Anyway, anybody else got any more sort of final thoughts or anything else they want to talk about on this thing?
Bob?
I'm not trying to rush us out of here or anything.
No, I mean, I like this episode. I like the pacing of the show. We are almost halfway through the season.
Yep.
Which is insane because the show just started.
Yep.
But I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. I really like that Metallica needle drop at the end of the episode. I was like, what the Metallica? Let's go! Like,
hey, Kenny.
Yeah. So,
real quick, how'd you feel about that Metallica needle drop at the end of the episode?
If anyone wants to know my thoughts on the licensed music so far in this show, go listen to our previous episode of the show.
Okay. Well, but Metallica's your favorite band. How'd you feel about this one?
My thoughts on it are go back to our previous episode and listen to what I had to say about the licensed music.
Okay.
But it's about the little xenomorph going into the lung. Where is it gonna roam? Who knows?
Okay. All right. Okay.
Danny, since you didn't hear the last episode yet, I went on record as saying that every single piece of licensed media that has so far been used on the show has made me extremely mad, and I've hated every single moment of it.
Funny. The first one was weird. The first time I heard a song, I was like, Alien doesn't use licensed music. What the hell? It's almost when we got that trailer for Andor and it was set to like a rock song. I was like, what is happening? But I mean, I don't mind it. It just felt weird because it's never happened before.
Remember when that first Watchmen trailer was set to a Smashing Pumpkins song?
Oh my god, yeah.
But yeah, no joke. Wendy was lying on the floor unconscious, and then I heard the twanging of Wherever I May Roam, and literally out loud, I went, "Fuck you."
She's also laying. You can barely see it on the floor on the Prodigy logo.
She is.
Yeah,
She definitely is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
symbolism, guys.
speaking of that lying on the floor, that shot of the three of them on the floor as the camera was kind of panning up, where's Joe and Wendy and the xenomorph like cutting his head cut off. Like that looked really cool.
Yeah, I definitely thought, due to the way that scene was structured, that they were implying Joe was dead. So I was surprised when I saw them bringing his body back. I was like, oh, because like he was like in like the stretcher and everything, and I was like, oh, so even though he got stabbed through the fucking chest, I guess he's still alive. That's cool, I guess.
Yeah, just through the lung. That's one last thought. I like how Wendy sliced the xenomorph's face off.
Mm-hmm.
It was like when you do a fatality on the xenomorph in Mortal Kombat 10.
That's right.
Well, that's a great ad for the paper cutter thing.
Yeah.
Because that thing, I mean, she cut is like dead, right? Acid all over.
She stabbed it through the roof in the trailer, and then acid leaked down all the way down the entire length of the blade, but it was still viable enough of a weapon to be able to literally cut a xenomorph's head off with it.
And then
that's how strong she is.
She ripped its jaw out or cut its jaw out right as the door was closing too. Yeah. She did fuck that thing up. That was pretty. We keep not seeing like the bulk of the violence. We're just seeing kind of the gore and the aftermath.
And they even did that in this episode too, when they trapped her behind a locked door.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool. It's satisfying enough, Yeah. I don't. Anyway.
But anyway, Danny, to answer your question, Danny, I hated the Metallica needle drop. Thank you.
Well, some of us enjoyed it, but that's it. That's all
I mean, I literally listened to that album yesterday at work, so I heard that song like 25 hours previously to when I heard it today. And I liked it then, but like I said, I got real mad when they played it on this episode.
That's all you're going to think about now whenever you hear that song.
That's how it works.
Well, I also liked the second time we got some, or the third time, I guess, we got some Disney movie product placement in here. And it is during the scene when Morrow is talking to the child.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And Morrow is catching up on 65 years worth of history, I guess. He's on the computer.
Yep.
And he's just hanging out in like a bondage club.
The triumvirate becomes the 5, as the headline said. Yeah.
Well, okay. I'm looking at the page before that, before he clicks on that article. He's on a Prodigy search where he has typed in search. Right? The top article is called Lessons Gone Awry. And Boy Cavalier has crashed his electric vehicle while it's hard to read because there's a lot of stuff on the screen. While taking driving lessons this past weekend, when he was asked why he was driving himself and hasn't relied on the artificial intelligence he's so proud of, the 15-year-old CEO and founder of multi-billion-dollar corporation Prodigy. So maybe he's 15 years old? Is that possible?
I don't think that guy looks 15.
I think he was maybe 15 when he started the corporation. Maybe he's Could be 17, 18 now.
Another article is called Boy Genius Breathes New Life into Android. So this seems like this is an article about Wendy, which is a secret, so that's odd.
Yeah.
So he threw himself into indicated that the progress made came as a direct result of throwing himself into his grief after the death of his ...
Mommy.
And then another article about the Prodigy CEO moves office to undisclosed location.
I bet it's about the death of his mom because, if he's the Peter Pan in all of this, right? All the Lost Boys wanted Wendy to be their mom, right?
Yep.
Peter Pan included.
Yep. And we already know from the previous episode that's metaphorically what his explicit stated goal of creating Wendy is. I mean, he doesn't literally want her to be his mom, but he does want to have someone that can like stand next to him and like be a partner with him in various ways that he's looking
smarter
for.
than him, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, he kind of is looking for a mom, sort of. So
Yeah.
I guess the thematic connection there holds through.
Well, I hope he's okay after his car accident during driving lessons.
I'm sure he's fine. He seems fine.
He's
Did
not
you say
driving
he-
anywhere either. So
Did you say he opened a Prodigy search and then typed search?
it said location and then a search bar, and then in the search bar was written --search --.
All right. A few years ago, I did the Combat Time podcast, Mortal Kombat podcast, with some of our friends.
Yep.
And we watched basically all of the fighting game adaptation movies,
Mm-hmm.
live action adaptation movies, right?
Which one did you like the most?
So, I think Mortal Kombat 95 was a clear winner. Dead or Alive.
I was just about to say, not counting Mortal Kombat 95, because in retrospect, I'm sure that was the top one.
Dead or Alive, we all know my guilty pleasure.
All right, fair.
That movie goes hard. But one of the movies we watched is Tekken 2 Kazuya's Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
To call it a movie is generous. It is one of the worst. It is one of the worst made things I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible, but you reminded me of a scene where Kazuya is on a computer and he's trying to find a hotel. So he opens up a website called hotelsearch.com and then types in hotels near me.
Cool.
And hit search.
Perfect.
I think that I want to say it's the Sandra Bullock movie The Net. I think there is a scene where she orders a pizza online by going to pizza.com. It rocks. It's so good.
Love that shit.
Bob, was there any last things you wanted to say about this episode?
No, I loved it.
All right. You
loved it?
I loved it. I'm going toxic positivity for this episode.
Don't go. No, just go real. We're not that kind of podcast.
Look, I thought the first one was promising. Second one really went downhill for me. This one, I'm kind of coming back around on it because it got a little sillier, and I think it's leaning into some of the silliness.
Okay.
In a way where I wish they had done that from the beginning, but it started off so serious in tone. Like it took itself so seriously.
Right.
And it feels like now they're kind of like settling into what the vibe of the show is. And I wish that was kind of there from the start.
Okay.
There is one last thing that I wanted to mention about the episode that I really liked. I really liked that second scene between Slightly and Smee, where like the assistant comes in to like ask him about what Morrow said. And then after the assistant leaves, Smee just kind of sits there on the other side of the couch and just looks at Slightly. And then after a couple of seconds, it has that kind of, all right, fine. And kind of like gets up and waddles over to him and then flops down and then looks at him and then just puts his arm around him, and I thought that was a very cute and fun scene that I liked a lot.
They are bros. It is really fun.
And they keep constantly calling each other bro too, which never stopped being funny to me every single time.
They really sell it.
I love the two of them so much. They rule. I'm hoping we get way more of them. I am hoping that this episode is not the high watermark of how much we see them in the show. I definitely want the more of the two of them just goofing around. It was a lot of fun and I loved it.
Yeah, I think this is I've never been off board with this show. I've always, every episode, there's always been a lot of stuff that I have really liked in it, even if the central premise of let's put a bunch of children in synth bodies and now let's send them into a dangerous situation. The central premise of the last 2 episodes has not clicked with me. Mm-hmm. I feel like that premise is going to continue to not click with me, but I think there's enough like stuff around it, right, that I'm enjoying, that I am enjoying the show overall. And I'm willing to say that it's pretty good so far.
I will agree to that.
And I feel like I haven't said anything along, like, as we've been doing these episodes that would make it sound like I think that it's not pretty good, but people seem to think that me thinking the show is pretty good isn't good enough.
Yeah.
But you know what? The show's pretty good, guys, and that's okay. All right. Yeah. Like, I'm completely open to this thing also becoming fantastic by the end, nailing the ending and totally pulling everything together and just like knocking my fucking socks off. That's happened before too.
No joke, man. I've been seeing people online. I've straight up seen multiple people say this is literally the worst piece of alien media that the franchise has ever released. And I was like, there's no way that's true.
This is far from the worst thing that a piece of media that they've ever released.
I mean, there are also people that have said that this is the best the franchise has been since Aliens. That's also not true, I don't think. But the show is pretty good. You know, it's enjoyable. It's given us some cool xenomorph action. There's a lot of stuff going on. The show is not bad.
Do you remember, Kenny, when we read Aliens versus Avengers issue 3?
I do.
And we got to the end of that, and I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, you were like, I don't know if that really worked as well for me. And then we read issue 4 and you're like, oh, okay. The stuff that's in 4 retroactively like fixes the problems that I had with 3 because now I understood why they did it that way.
Yeah. It turns out this was great. And it's not like in retroactively fixes. It's not like they went back and fixed it. It was planned and plotted out ahead of time. The whole time. That's the nature of like written serialized storytelling, right?
Yeah.
They've written all of these episodes. They know where they're going with it and they're pacing out how to get there. So like, yeah, for sure. This whole thing could turn around and everything could come together and just absolutely blow my mind by the end of
before.
Thing.
So
it's happened before. It's happened on this show. And I think that that's part of the fun of chronicling these things episode by episode. And that was certainly a lot of the fun of doing the comic series issue by issue, right? Was because we had those moments. Like, I forget which Declan Shalvey series it was, where like we were one issue, I think it was the second series, where we were like one issue short of the end. And I was like, I don't know how all this is going to come together. I don't think it's going to stick the landing. We got this and we got this and we got this and we got this. And then we read that last issue and we were like, well, kind of nailed it.
Yeah,
they nailed this. They got this. They got this. They got this.
We were wrong. He fucking did it.
We were wrong. That's the fun of going through this stuff, man. You know, I love to get to the end of something that I've been on the fence about and just be totally won over by it. Sometimes you get burned though, and like that's also okay.
All right,
like,
Danny's been trying to say something for like a minute and a half. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, like, wasn't issue 3 where we had the Xenomorph T-shirt cannon? That was one of the best episodes of that series.
The reason why he didn't really like it as much was because he thought Tony getting killed off screen and then Miles just disappearing and we never see where he went, and then Carol getting attacked during the fight and then waking up missing an eye but otherwise fine even though she fell unconscious while nearby xenomorphs. That was the problems that he had with the issue. So
it just that all of that stuff just felt kind of like we're missing pieces here. It just kind of got, some of the stuff felt like it just got brushed over.
Yeah, that was the problem. Like you said, it was missing pieces. But then we read issue 4 and they filled those pieces in and we all went,
filled those pieces in ways I was not expecting and would never imagined they were going to be filled in, and it was incredible. And it
Yeah,
was great.
for instance,
Like-
the best comic book character that Marvel has ever created, one that I do not want to actively spoil on the episode in case anyone hasn't read it or listened to it yet.
Yeah.
Well, and if you haven't read it and you're listening to this the week of August 20th on Neil's birthday, go to your comic shop and pick up the trade because the collection for Alien versus Avengers is out this week. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
go
absolutely
check it out.
absolutely worth reading. Even if you're not a Marvel fan.
Agreed.
Mhm.
Although conversation for another day, but I've been through how I don't think Hickman is the best writer for getting new readers on board.
That's true. You haven't. We
But
have had this. We did have this conversation, I think, twice on the AVX episodes.
Yeah.
AVA, sorry.
Yeah. We haven't done Avengers versus X-Men.
We have not. That is correct.
Not yet.
But yeah,
Anyway.
other than those two things, I don't think I had anything else to say about this episode. Like I said, it was pretty good. I'm enjoying the show so far. We're 3 episodes in, and I'm still not entirely sure like where they're even like trying to go with it.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm interested in seeing what they do because I don't really have an idea of where they're going. So
Yeah, and to sum up my point, I'm on board for wherever this is going, and I'm hoping that it's gonna blow my mind. I have not like solidified an opinion about this series. I want to see how this goes, and I'm gonna like take it episode by episode.
Cool.
Yeah,
works for me.
because like, what else are you gonna do, right? Decide
right.
it's the best thing or the worst thing based on watching 1 or 2 episodes.
I'm
What are you
certainly
not
not
going to
going to.
watch the Alien show?
Yeah,
That's not how we do things over here.
that's right.
We don't make up our minds immediately about this stuff.
Well, I have done that sometimes.
You have, but
I did make up my mind on AVA and then was proven wrong once I read the first episode. I also made up my mind on What If Aliens, and then I did not end up getting proven wrong, in my opinion, after I read the comic.
yeah, well,
But that's a topic for a different episode. Episodes we've already recorded because our episodes on both of those comics are already out. Listeners,
Yeah.
go check them out.
yes.
See what I did there?
Nice plug for the back
That's
back
right.
catalog.
Very
right.
organic.
It was very smooth.
Which, as
Yeah.
a reminder, will never be behind a paywall and never have advertisements.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Except for Wayland Utani. Building
All right.
better worlds.
Thank you.
Did you get all 3 in?
I think that was only 2.
Okay.
Well, but y'all brought it up earlier, so that counts.
Oh, okay. As
Yeah,
long as
no.
it's mentioned. I got you. Okay. Cool.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we're glad we were able to help you fulfill your contractual obligations, Danny.
Thanks. You knocked a
Yeah.
month off my contract.
Cool.
Should we wrap it up? Anybody else got anything else to say about
Play the Metallica and we can get out of here.
just anything? You can just, if you want to say anything at all.
I don't think I want anything. I don't think I want to say anything, as a matter of fact.
All right. Let's let our friends here plug their projects and activities.
Danny, go ahead.
You go first.
I can go first. If that's what you said, Neil. I was talking over you. So
No, go ahead, Danny. You're good.
I said Bob, but Danny, why don't you go
Well,
first?
Okay,
well,
sorry, Bob.
Bob went first at the beginning of the episode, so Danny can go first at the end of the episode.
Yeah, and as a reminder, I'm not editing this.
All right. Well, if there's no edits, then no. Yeah, you can just go check out my YouTube channel, Next Issue Podcast. We do a lot of, mainly comic books, but also if you like trading card games, we have a lot of gameplay footage from Star Wars Unlimited and the new Gundam TCG that I'm playing.
Yo,
Yeah.
hold
I would
on,
say-
hold
I
on.
would
What's your
say-
deck? What's your
I
deck?
would say
What's your deck?
Bob, hint, 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 Bob.
I'm doing I'm doing the Xeon Rush,
Bro.
the Xeon Aggro one.
Blue, blue, red,
Blue green.
blue, green. Okay, fuck yeah. I'm
And
doing
I'm
blue, green
trying
also.
also the Justice Blockers.
Yes,
the
bro.
white red.
Yes, bro.
Yes, it's a great, really fun game. But
I
yeah, go check
really
that
like
out.
it.
Go check that out on YouTube.
Nice. Well, we're gonna link that down in the show description, the episode description. Bob, what do you got going on?
Hey, I'm gonna go watch some of Danny's Gundam stuff over there. On
Hell
my
yeah.
YouTube channel, hey, I stream on Twitch and I do podcast on internet. Where do you do podcast? I guess it's available places. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's
yeah,
fine.
go look up look up the Flock video games.
What do I link for you guys? Hold on.
I don't know.
I link you guys. Well,
Simplecast. If you just type in your search bar search, maybe that'll start bringing up
-- search --
Yeah, if you type that in, it might just show up with some stuff.
I link your Simplecast page.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Do that. And then watch me on Twitch on Friday. We'll do something wacky.
Oh, yeah. It gets wacky over there, guys.
Sure does.
Oh, boy.
Sure does.
I remember one time, I don't know what was going on in there. You were streaming, and I was just being a jerk in the chat. I forget like what. And Bob, you just go, Neil, I will fucking beat your ass.
I'm sorry.
I would just like to point out that on Bob's stream, every week he watches a couple episodes of Eliminate. And there was one a couple of weeks ago that I tried to remind Bob about last week, and he didn't believe me. And he said that what I said wasn't true. Bob, there totally was a girl on an episode that introduced herself as saying, "Hi, my name is Aaron, and I'm a cat." That totally was an actual real girl. It was the one with kind of like the high-pitched kid-sounding voice, and she had long black hair, and she was wearing a hood with cat ears on it, and then a pair of gloves that had cat paws on them. And when she said, "My name is Aaron and I'm a cat," she held them up to the camera and went, "Meow."
Well, that sounds so random.
I try to block a lot of this stuff out. I'm sorry.
She was our favorite one on the episode, and she was the one that won that episode. Man.
Look, my stream character is very different from my real life character, so I'm sorry for the things I do or say on there.
Good times.
All right. Go check out Danny's stuff and Bob's stuff if you got some time left over.
That's right.
Yeah.
Kenny, where can people find you on the internet?
I'm on Blue Sky and Twitter at CYHOBBEZ.
I'm not plugging anymore.
Okay.
Where can people find the show?
We're on Twitter, which is run by me at Crew Expendapod. We're on Blue Sky at Crew Expendable. We're on Instagram and Threads, which is run by Neil at Crew Expendable Pod. Our website is crewexpendable.net. Our email address is mother@crewexpendable.net. And our YouTube page is youtube.com/@crewexpendable.
I changed my mind. It's my birthday. I'm at Final Neil on Instagram. Come say hi.
Really? You made a big deal about not doing your plugs, and then you had one plug, bro.
It's my birthday. Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads. Come say hi. It's my birthday.
Also, speaking of YouTube, was that really mean comment we got on YouTube? Was that where it was?
We're not addressing this on the air.
Okay, fine. Cut this out then. I don't care.
But if you'd like to support the show, coolerbot.net.
That's right.
Yeah.
He has his own website now.
And we thank you in advance, guys. Our next episode later this week is going to be on Judge Dredd versus Aliens Incubus issues 1 and 2.
That's right. It's
Spoiler
a good one.
Alert. It fucking rules.
Yeah, it's a good one. The episode and the comic, check them both out. They kick a lot of ass.
Yeah.
Party while I burst.
Thank you.
Flames.
So until then, stay frosty.
frosty.